Well, hello there, everybody. My name is Jaretta Scott, and I provide outreach on behalf of the CapTel Captioned Telephone, but I also really think of myself as a hearing health advocate and raising awareness to our community. Today, I'm going to be sharing an amazing service about the CapTel Captioned Telephone. And you might be asking yourself, what is it? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you about. A really great thing I want you to keep in mind as we go through the information today is even if you don't have hearing loss yourself, chances are you might know someone who has hearing loss. So what I like to say is if you have ears, this presentation is absolutely for you. So let's talk about the CapTel. And here is the real star of the show. This is the CapTel phone. It's a traditional phone, so you just pick it up and say hello with the added benefit of having amplification as well as word-for-word captioning. So think of if you use captions on your television, this is exactly the same type of technology, except more accurate and in real time. So I want you to think for a minute about a time that you were talking on the phone and someone couldn't hear you, or you yourself were having trouble hearing on the phone. Now I'm going to ask you a question, even though I know I'm not going to hear you answer, was that an enjoyable experience? Well, I doubt it. It was probably frustrating, and it might have been embarrassing or angry, or you just gave up on talking on the phone. That is why I am so excited when I get to share the CapTel, because it can regain confidence, it can regain independence, and even if you had given up on the telephone, the CapTel can get you back on the phone by being able to hear what you can and read what you need. You're not going to miss any part of a conversation. Frustration is going to go way down, and maybe your spouse or neighbor won't have to get your answering machine messages for you. You'll be able to take care of that on your own. So one of the greatest things, besides the things I just shared about the quality of life enhancers, so this is a no-cost service, and I promise no cost means no cost. There's no monthly fee. Everything is going to remain the same with your current telephone bill. So you still might be thinking, okay, Jaretta, what's the deal? There is a cost. I promise you there isn't. The reason is that this is a federally funded program through the Americans with Disabilities Act, and if you want to get real fancy, it's Title IV of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And if you were to look on your telecommunication bill, you know all those extra taxes and fees that you see on there? One is a regulatory fee, and that's where this program is funded through. So in many ways, you've been paying for this program for a long time. You put it on layaway, and it might be time for you to consider a captioned telephone, because again, the phone can be so frustrating if you're not able to hear what's being said. So now that you know who it's for and that there's no fee of any sort associated, you might be thinking, well, how do I get myself one of these? Well, I'm super glad you asked that. I hope you're asking that. So you might be wondering, okay, I have a hearing loss and I like the price being no cost, but how do I get one and how do I qualify? Well, it's pretty darn easy. What you need is to have a hearing challenge, a home landline or dial tone, and internet. And on the back of this form, voila, is the information that you'll need. Your information is on the top. A health provider, a doctor, a nurse, a veteran service officer can sign the form, send it in, and literally, just like that, I will be contacting you to then come to your home and set your phone up. So you'll get to meet me in person, if that's okay. And that's my favorite part of the job, is when I get to come into someone's home, get the CapTel set up, and reconnect them with conversations that maybe they had given up on. Now, I mentioned that it was a national program. So if you're watching this and you have a friend or brother that live in Missouri or Florida or Rhode Island, I can still help them out. I have coworkers all across the country that love doing what I do just as much, but I can't help people in Rhode Island in their home, but my coworker could sure help them out. So it's a super easy process to be able to get the CapTel. So up close and personal here with the CapTel, some of the really, really cool features that are built in and part of the whole phone are, it's an amplified phone, so you can increase or decrease the volume. You can also increase with the plus sign or decrease the size of the font. So even if your eyes are the same age as your ears, you might need to make that a little bit bigger. Now I'm also going to show you that there's a built-in answering machine right in the phone. Now this call history is pretty cool. What this is after you've hung up from a conversation, you might be thinking, oh wait, what time did they say lunch is? Well, you can go back and review any conversation that you've had of what the caller has said. Sometimes people ask if it's what you've said, and it's like, well, I hope you know what you've said, but this is a really popular feature that people love. You can also program in contacts and your favorite. So up to 100 you can put in there. So the phone, you know, and a lot of people really get a kick out of just having the time and day right on the phone. So the phone itself is just a phone. You pick it up and say hello. You dial the number or you go to your contacts. It's just a phone. Sometimes people look at it and they're like, I don't know if I can use it. And I say, well, chances are you've been using a phone for a few decades. This is just like that, except you'll be able to hear with the amplification and read with the captions. Now, another really cool thing is this blue button is customer service. And that is in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where our phones are made, in the good old US of A. And with this customer service button, if you had a question about the CapTel, you just push that button, pick up the handset, and ask your question, and a human being is going to be at the other end. You're not going to be sent into a phone tree. So if it was 3 a.m. and you had a question about the CapTel, I'd wonder what you were doing at 3 a.m. thinking about the CapTel, but you could push that customer service button and there'd be someone there for you. And I go over a lot of these things when I come to your home to set it up, but I just wanted to show you some of the most popular features that customers just absolutely love about the CapTel. So thank you so much for taking time to hear about the CapTel Captioned Telephone and the federally funded program. I really appreciate getting to share this with you, and I hope I get to meet you in your home with you getting a CapTel. My contact information is being made available, so please feel free to reach out, call, email, or text. I love answering questions and getting people reconnected on the telephone, even when hearing loss is a challenge. Thank you so much.